Okay, so in last class we have seen this 2 degree of freedom system where the damping force was prevalent between M1 and ground and then M2 and ground. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. In this, and then we saw that we derived the equations of equilibrium, everything, and we saw that this case leads to a stiffness proportional a mass proportional damping case, provided that certain conditions are satisfied. For example, C is equal to alpha times M. So C1, C2, 0, 0, this form of damping matrix is very similar to M1, M2, 0, 0 mass matrix. So if we provide and proportionality constant alpha, then we get something called as mass proportional damping. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now in today's class, we are going to look at the another arrangement where the damping force is prevalent between M1 and ground, but instead of the damping force between M2 and ground, now it is prevalent between M2 and M1. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And then its representation in simpler form, like a 2 degree of freedom system, is this one. So you have mass M1, M2, stiffnesses are K1 and K2, and the damping coefficients are C1 and C2. Happy?
Yes, sir.
And then we call this as U1 of T. So U1 of T is at any given instant of time, the displacement of M1 in X direction is U1 of T. Happy?
Yes, sir.
And at the same instant of time, the displacement of mass M2 is U2 of T. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Well, now we are going to derive the equations of motion quickly. We have done this exercise elaborately in previous case. So here we are going to do it very quickly. So first one, I'm going to draw a case. We are going to draw free body diagram of mass M1. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
M1 at time t. At time t. And we say that U1 is greater than U2. U1 is positive. U2 is positive. That means with reference to this positive x-axis, U2 is towards right and U1 is towards right. We also say that U1 dot is positive. That means it is towards right. Velocity of first mass is towards right at time t. U2 dot is positive. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
We are also going to say that U1 double dot and U2 double dot are positive. And we are also going to assume that U2 dot is greater than U1 dot. Just like U1, sorry, we are going to assume that, yeah. So here also we have to assume that U2 is greater than U1. I'm sorry. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And U2 dot is greater than U1 dot. These are the assumptions. If these assumptions are not respected, negative sign will emerge after the analysis. So that's all right. So without loss of generality, we can assume everything positive to start with. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So let us draw the free body diagram of mass M1. So how does the free body diagram of mass M1 look like? So this is mass M1. So at a given instant of time, this mass is displaced towards right by amount U1 of T. And the other one end of this spring with stiffness K1 is connected to this mass M1. Other end is connected to ground. Ground has not moved an inch. So therefore, the stretch in this spring will be equal to U1 of T. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And then spring force will be K1 times U1 of T and it will be acting towards left. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Now I am not writing it as U1 of T intentionally so that the equations look easier, not clumsy. Therefore U1 of T ऐसे नहीं लिख रहा हूँ. आपको समझना है U1 is a function of time. Similarly, we assume that U1 dot of T is positive and the ground is not moving. So ground's velocity is 0. So what is the relative velocity between these 2 points? Relative velocity between these 2 points is nothing but u1 dot of t. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So therefore spring force must be equal to C1 times U1 dot of T, and that damping force must be equal to C1 times U1 dot of T, and that damping force must be towards left because the mass is moving towards right. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So C1 U1 dot. What else? Now if you look at the spring K2, mass M2 has moved by amount U2 of T and mass M1 has moved by amount U1 of T. So therefore net stretch in the spring is U2 of T minus U1 of T. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
And therefore force in the spring will be equal to K2 into U2 of T minus U1 of T. And as U2 of T is greater than U1 of T, the spring is in tension and therefore that force must be towards right. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
So that force I am going to write it as K2 into bracket U2 of T minus U1 of T. Happy?
Yes, sir.
देखो हमने assume क्या किया है U2 of T is greater than U1 of T. अगर U2 is less than U1 तो automatically यहाँ पे sign adjust हो जाएगा. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, without loss of generality, we can make these assumptions on the natures of U1, U2, U1 dot, U2 dot, U1 double dot, and U2 double dot, and relative magnitudes of U1, U2, U1 dot, and U2 dot. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go ahead now. As mass M1 has moved towards right, and mass M2 has moved towards right, but by amount U1 of T and U2 of T, and their velocities are U1 dot of T and U2 dot of T. So what is the force in damper? U2 dot of T minus U1 dot of T into C2, and that force कौन से direction में है बोलो? In which direction that force must be? Are you with me?
Yes, sir. Right side.
हाँ, towards right. So therefore ये force क्या रहने वाला है बोलो? U2 dot of T minus U1 dot of T, and this multiplied by C2. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Now can we write now what is the acceleration of this mass M1? The acceleration of this mass M1 is U1 double dot of T. That I am going to show it this in this fashion. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Now can we apply Newton's second law? Algebraic sum of
Yes.
all the forces acting on mass M1 in x direction must be equal to that mass M1 multiplied by acceleration of that mass M1 in x direction. But what is the acceleration of that mass M1 in x direction? It is U1 double dot of T. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So what can I write? K1 U1 minus, because it is in left towards left, minus C1 U1 dot. Happy? Plus K2 into U2 minus U1 plus C2 into U2 dot minus U1 dot. This must be equal to M1 U1 double dot. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Now let us collect the terms in let us collect the terms in U1, U1 dot and U1 double dot together. So if I were to collect terms in U1, तो कौन-कौन से terms आने वाले? जरा बताओ. So U1 common into bracket. You are going, by the way, all these quantities are going to go on the right hand side. Happy?
Okay, sir.
And on this side, left hand side will remain 0. So I will write it as 0. All the quantities go on the other side. 0 must be equal to. When these quantities go on the other side, there is a change of sign. And I am collecting the terms of U1, U1 dot and U1 double dot together. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So सबसे पहले टर्म होगी u1 डबल डॉट की. So m1 u1 डबल डॉट. Happy? This term is on right hand side. There will not be change in its sign. It will remain as it is.
Yes, sir.
Now let us collect the terms of u1 dot. u1 dot के terms हम collect करते हैं. So I will say plus. What are the terms in u1 dot? This minus
C1.
c1 u1 dot will go on other side and it will become positive. So it is going to be c1. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And this minus c2 u1 dot, c2 into minus u1 dot. So minus
Yes, sir.
c2 u1 dot, that will go on the other side and will become positive. So it is going to be c1 plus c2.
Yes, sir.
Happy?
Yes, sir.
Great. Now let us collect the terms in u1, u2 dot. What are the terms in u2 dot? Tell me. u2 dot पे कौन कौन से terms है इसमें?
C2.
हाँ, so c2 into u2 dot, but it will go on the other side and it will become minus c2. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Great. What are the other terms? There are no other terms in u2 dot. Now let us collect the terms in u1. So if I try to collect terms in u1, what are the terms? Tell me. So this k2 into u1,
K.
it will go on the other side and it will become positive. This k1 into u1 will go on other side, it will become positive. So won't it be k1 plus k2?
Yes, sir.
And what are the terms in u2? बोलो u2 के terms कौन से हैं? So in u2 you have only one term, k2
Minus
into
K2.
u2. That will become minus k. Happy?
Yes, sir.
This becomes our equation number 1. Chalo. Now let us draw the free body diagram at the same instant of time, but of mass m2. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So free body diagram of mass m2 at the same instant of time. So how does the mass m2 look like? How does the free body or diagram of mass m2 looks like? So this mass m2 has moved by amount u2 and mass m1 has moved by amount u1. So relative extension between the spring of stiffness k2 will be u2 minus u1. And as that is the extension, it is going to pull the mass m2. So therefore it is going to act towards left and the amount will be k2 into u2 minus u1. Agreed? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, you can write c2 into u2 dot minus u1 dot. Happy? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And then there is no other force acting on this m2. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
So as there is no other force acting on this m2, I have to only show its acceleration. Its acceleration is towards right. That's what we have assumed. And it is u2 double dot. Happy?
Yes, sir.
And this mass is m2. So let us apply Newton's second law. Algebraic sum of forces acting on mass m2 in x direction must be equal to this mass m2 into acceleration of mass m2 into x direction. But what is the acceleration of mass m2 into x direction? It is u2 double dot.
U2 double dot.
And what is the algebraic sum? So you are going to have sorry, minus k2 into u2 minus u1 plus minus c2 into u2 dot minus u1 dot. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
This must be equal to m2 into u2 double dot. I am going to follow the same strategy. I am going to take everything from left hand side to right hand side and I am going to collect terms in u1, u2, u1 dot, u2 dot and u1 double dot, u2 double dot. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So what is going to happen? चलो right hand side में जैसे ही ये terms लेके जाता हूँ, this side is going to become 0. 0 must be equal to first terms in u2 double dot. So it is only m2 u2 double dot. Agreed? Are you with me? Vaibhav, am I audible? Vedant, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I guess his maybe internet must have gone
Okay.
weak or something.
Okay, no problem. Let us continue. So m2 u2 double dot. Now when I take terms in u2 dot on the right hand side. So what are the terms in u2 dot? It is c2 into u2 dot, but it is minus sign here. So on the right hand side it becomes plus. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Plus c2 into u2 dot. Then you have term in u1 dot. And what is that term? Minus c2 into minus u1 dot positive. On right hand side it goes and becomes negative. So therefore I am going to have minus c2 into u1 dot. Happy?
Yes.
Now similarly minus k2 into u2. On right hand side it goes and becomes positive. So we have the term plus k2 u2 dot. K2 u2, sorry. And then minus k2 u1. Happy?
Yes.
This is our equation number 2. Now let me bring equation number 1 here. So if we take equation number 1 there, and just below that let me repeat this equation number 2. And if we were to write down these two equations in matrix form, how are we going to write it? So we are going to have 0 0. So that 0 0 I will show it as a RHS, though it is LHS here. Are you with me?
Okay, sir.
This must be equal to what? Let us now collect terms in u1 dot and u2 double dot first. So u1 double dot and u2 double dot. Happy?
Yes.
So what is the term in u1 double dot in first equation?
One.
M1. What is the term? What is the coefficient of u2 double dot in first equation?
0.
What is the coefficient of u2 double dot in second equation?
M2.
And what is the coefficient of u1 double dot?
0.
So this is the mass matrix.
Yes.
This is matrix of accelerations plus. Now let me collect all the terms in u1 dot and u2 dot. Happy?
Yes.
Chalo, collect karo. What are the terms? What is the coefficient of u1 dot in first equation?
C1 plus C2.
C1 plus C2. What is the coefficient of u2 dot in first equation?
Minus C2.
Okay. What is the coefficient of u2 dot in
Uh,
second equation?
Minus C2.
u1 dot. That is
Yes,
minus
minus C2.
and u2 dot plus C2.
Plus C2.
Happy? Now let us collect the terms in u1 and u2. So let me collect terms in u1 and u2. What is the coefficient of u1 in first equation?
K1 plus K2.
K1 plus
K2.
K2. What is the coefficient of u2 in first equation? Minus
Minus
K2.
K2.
What is the coefficient of u1 in second equation?
Plus K2. Minus K2, sorry.
Minus K2. And what is the coefficient of u2? Plus K2.
Plus K. Plus.
Now, do you see remarkable similarity and in stiffness and damping matrices?
Yes, right.
Unlike in first case, there was a remarkable similarity between damping and mass matrix. Do you agree with me?
Yes, right.
So now if I set stiffness matrix such that it is some multiple damping matrix such that it is some multiple of stiffness matrix, we get something called as stiffness proportional damping. Are you with me?
Yes.
So here what I say is K is beta times, sorry, C is beta times K. C is equal to beta times K. Are you with me?
Sir, can you tell that whether beta is a variable or a constant?
It is scalar. Are you with me?
Okay.
This scalar is to be evaluated based on the experiments. That is to be done by engineers. Experiment करके इसको evaluate करना है. But C is equal to beta times K. Are you with me?
Okay.
जैसे हमने last time कैसे लिया था? C is equal to alpha, which is a constant or scalar, times M. How to evaluate this constant? The onus is on engineers on experiments. Are you with me?
Yes.
So C is equal to alpha times M. But when C is equal to alpha times M, we proved that the transformation also diagonalizes the C matrix. ये हमने prove किया था last time. Are you with me?
Yes.
देखो, what did we prove in last class? Phi transpose M phi is diagonal. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Similarly, phi transpose K phi is diagonal. यहाँ तक कोई problem नहीं था. We examined whether phi transpose C phi is diagonal or not. Are you with me?
Yes. Yes.
And how did we do that? Phi transpose, if it is a mass proportional damping, it becomes alpha times M into phi. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Is equal to alpha times phi transpose M phi. Happy?
Yes.
But phi transpose M phi is diagonal, so alpha times diagonal matrix is a diagonal matrix.
Yes. Right.
So we proved that if C is mass proportional damping, then phi transpose phi transformation turns it into a diagonal matrix, just like mass and stiffness matrix. Happy?
Yes.
That's what we are going to prove it here now for stiffness proportional damping. ये कौन सा damping है? This is stiffness proportional damping. Happy?
Yes.
So what is the difference in mass proportional and stiffness proportional damping? Mass proportional damping के लिए this was the arrangement where the damping force did prevail between the first mass and ground, second mass and ground, third mass and ground, fourth mass and ground. जितने degree of freedom system है उसका last degree of freedom and ground. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So damping force जब सिर्फ ground and degree of freedom के बीच में prevail होता है, उस केस में we get mass proportional damping. Do you agree with me?
Yes, right.
यहाँ पे क्या change है देखो. The first damper is between first degree of freedom and ground. Second damper is between second degree of freedom and first degree of freedom. Are you with me?
Yes.
Third damper is between the third mass and second mass. Fourth damper will be between fourth mass and third mass. Are you with me?
Yes.
So the dampers are not always connected to the ground. They are connected between the successive masses. So damping force prevails between the successive masses. इस situation में क्या होता है? The damping that you are likely to get is stiffness proportional. It cannot be guaranteed. It can be guaranteed only when C can be represented as beta times K. Are you with me?
Yes, right.
But at least the nature of stiffness matrix and damping matrix will be same. You have to set C1 and C2 in such a fashion that K beta times K is equal to C. Then it is stiffness proportional damping. Happy?
Yes, right.
Okay. Stiffness proportional damping. Are you with me?
Yes, yes.
Now, if we apply the transformation, we are quite sure that phi transpose M phi is diagonal. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
By the way, what is phi? Phi हम कैसे find out करते हैं? तो phi find out करने
Again,
के लिए
M inverse K.
के eigen values हम find out करते हैं. That is the first step.
Yes.
Eigen values, है ना? And then we arrange these eigen values in ascending form. So lambda 1, lambda 2 ऐसे arrange करते हैं. Happy? such that
Yes.
lambda 1 is greater than lambda 2 and lambda 3 is greater than lambda 2 is greater than lambda 3, so on and so forth. The smallest eigenvalue is lambda 1. Are you with me?
Yes.
And then eigenvector corresponding to lambda 1 अगर हम फर्स्ट कॉलम जैसा रख दे, eigenvector corresponding to lambda 2 सेकंड कॉलम जैसा रख दे, तो जो मिलता है that is phi matrix. So
Yes.
it is a matrix of eigenvectors corresponding to eigenvalues arranged in ascending form. Happy?
Yes.
Great. If that is the case, then we are sure that phi transpose m phi is diagonal.
Yes.
Happy? Okay. Then what about phi transpose k phi?
Also diagonal.
Phi transpose k phi is also a diagonal matrix. Happy?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. If phi transpose m phi and phi transpose k phi are diagonal matrices, then what can you say about phi transpose c phi for stiffness proportional damping?
So
So
it
how
will
do I
also be diagonal.
because we represent c as phi
Beta
transpose
times k.
beta times k phi. Happy?
Yes.
As beta is a scalar, it will come outside the bracket and you will have k. It will come outside the matrix operations. So it will be phi transpose k phi. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
But as this matrix is diagonal, any non-zero number multiplied by diagonal matrix results into a diagonal matrix.
Diagonal matrix.
Why are we hell-bent on having this matrix as diagonal? Because in this current form, the equations of motion are coupled.
Yes.
In first and second equations, you have u1 as well as u2. Are you with me?
Yes.
The moment all the matrices become diagonalized, these equations become uncoupled in general coordinate system. And then you can solve them as single degree of freedom systems. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So therefore, this is called as stiffness proportional damping. So if the damping is mass proportional and or stiffness proportional, then the resulting C matrix gets diagonalized with transformation phi transpose C phi. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Acha. What can be the more general form of damping matrix? Of course, it will be what it will be. Yeah, tell me. It will be mass and stiffness proportional damping. Are you with me?
Yes.
मतलब कैसे वो बताता हूं मैं. General form of damping matrix. More general form. Damping matrix. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Suppose now if I write C is equal to alpha times M plus beta times K. Now, are you able to understand this?
Yes.
This is more general form. Now C is equal to alpha times M plus beta times K. ये अगर मैंने कर दिया, so what can you say about phi transpose C phi? बोलो. That will be equal to phi transpose into bracket alpha times M plus beta times K. Happy?
Yes.
Multiplied by phi,
Yes.
which will be equal to phi transpose alpha M phi plus phi transpose beta K phi. Happy?
Yes.
But alpha and beta are constants, so I can write it as alpha times phi transpose M phi plus beta times phi transpose K phi. Are you with me?
Yes.
Is this diagonal?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is this diagonal?
Yes.
So alpha times diagonal matrix, is it diagonal? Yes.
Yes.
Beta times
Yes.
diagonal matrix, is it diagonal? Yes. Addition of two
Yes.
diagonal matrices, is it diagonal?
Yes.
Yes, because diagonal matrix में मतलब कैसे रहेगा? A B 0 0 प्लस C D 0 0, इनका एडिशन भी तो डायगोनल रहने वाला है. इट इज गोइंग टू बी A plus C 0 0 B plus D. It is also a diagonal matrix. Do you
Yes,
agree
sir.
with me?
Right.
So
Yes.
addition of diagonal matrices is also diagonal. So even if I represent C matrix as mass proportional plus damping proportional matrix, alpha times M plus beta times K, the resulting C matrix is going to get diagonalized with the transformation that makes M and K matrices diagonal. Are you with me?
Yes.
So same transformation is going to help me in decoupling the equations of motion. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
हाँ, तो इसको बोलते हैं मास एंड स्टिफनेस प्रोपोर्शनल डैम्पिंग. तो पहले सिर्फ मास प्रोपोर्शनल डैम्पिंग, सेकंड स्टिफनेस प्रोपोर्शनल डैम्पिंग, थर्ड मास एंड स्टिफनेस प्रोपोर्शनल डैम्पिंग. सो मास एंड स्टिफनेस प्रोपोर्शनल डैम्पिंग में ये C1 और C2 भी रहेंगे एंड यू विल हैव दिस एज C3 एंड C4. आर यू विद मी?
Yes.
So चारों रहेंगे. So mass proportional and stiffness, these are called as proportional damping. So what if the damping is neither proportional to mass nor proportional to stiffness? That is the most generalized case. Are you with me?
Yes.
We are going to deal with that case little later. First of all, we are going to solve a problem based on this mass and damping proportional, mass and stiffness proportional damping. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I am going to give you a data, a 2 degree of freedom system with M1 is equal to 1000 kg. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
M2 is equal to no. Uh, okay, let us take different numbers so that you will have practice once more to calculate phi. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
नहीं तो मैं पहले ही नंबर ले सकता हूँ, पहले वाले ही, so that we need not calculate phi and other things. But here we want to have a practice, so let us take different numbers. So M1 is equal to 1000 kg, M2 is equal to 1500 kg. Happy? K1 is equal to K1 is equal to 10,000 Newton per meter and K2 is equal to 8,000 Newton per meter. Are you with me?
Yes.
Exhibit, spelling सही है?
Yes.
Proportional damping such that eta 1 is equal to 0.005. By the way, eta 1 is, eta you know is a damping ratio. It is C upon C star. Are you with me?
Yes.
Why have I written it as eta 1? So we call this as modal damping. So it is a damping corresponding to first mode. Mode shapes मैंने आपको बता दिए, right? So this is the damping corresponding to first mode. I am going to call it as a eta 1 equal to 0.005 and eta 2 is equal to 0.0035. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So this is second mode damping. This is damping corresponding to second mode. So it exhibits proportional damping such that eta 1 is equal to 0.005 and eta 2 is equal to 0.0035. Happy?
Sir, a small doubt.
Hmm.
Sir, the eta 2 should be greater than or lesser than eta 1, or is there any such rule?
No, why do you think so?
As in the modes go on ascending or decreasing in the magnitudes.
You might be right. Okay, let me cross verify that. I will come back to this. Right now, I am not able to recollect that. But possibly, yes, because higher modes do get dampened fast. You are true. But let me cross verify it and then I will comment on this. But before that, let us make it 0.006. Okay.
Sir.
I will get back to this question whether it is always true, universally true, or are there exceptions, or it is not true. I am not able to recollect that. I will get back to this in the next class. Just remind me. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So eta 1 is 0.005 and eta 2 is 0.006. This is first mode damping. This is second mode damping ratio. Now, this is given and also you have been given a diagram. So let me draw the diagram. So this is K1. This is C1. Nothing is given about C. So this is M1. This is M2. This is K2. This is M2. This is the arrangement which is given. And damping के बारे में सिर्फ इतना ही बोला है. That the damping it exhibits proportional damping such that eta 1 is 0.005 and eta 2 is 0.006. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And it is acted upon by forces 200 Newton and 200 cos of lambda t, where lambda is a forcing frequency. This is the force in Newton, and at this it is acted upon by the force 150 cos lambda t Newton. So this is F1 of t, this is F2 of t. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
This is F1 of t. Okay. I want you to do this as we solve this problem. I want you to solve this problem as in a fair notebook and upload that as one of the assignment. Are you with me?
Okay, sir.
So solve this problem along with me. The intention is so that you will solve the problem carefully, because based on this I will also have a MCQ test again for your CCA assessment. So therefore solve this problem carefully and also put this solution as one of the assignments, which I will upload on Google Classroom. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is F1 of t, this is F2 of t. And what you need to do? So you need to find out compute maximum U1 of t and maximum U2 of t if lambda 1 is equal to omega 1. This is case A, and case B, lambda 1 is equal to omega 2, where omega 1 and omega 2 are natural frequencies. Are you with me?
Yes.
First mode and second mode natural frequencies. First and second natural frequencies. Are you with me?
Sir, here F2 of t should be greater than F1 of t, right? Because we
No.
are saying that U2 greater than U1.
No, that is our assumption. We always had a scope for U2 being less than U1. When U2 becomes less than U1, that sign gets, because of the sign U2 minus U1, that force direction gets self-adjusted. For example, here, if U2 is less than U1, this sign becomes negative. That means it is K2 into U2 minus U1, which is negative quantity. That means it is acting towards left. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So ऐसे नहीं है. We assume that U2 is greater than U1, but if at the end of the analysis, if that is not true, because for all instants, U2 is not going to be greater than U1. There may be some instant where U2 is less than U1, but at that time, U2 minus U1 itself adjusts the sign of K2 into U2 minus U1. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Clear हुआ कि नहीं doubt?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so that is not, you cannot force anything on F1 and F2 because these are the forces that are there due to some external bodies. How can you say that this body should exist? Body at M2 should exert more force than body at F1, M1. ऐसे बोल नहीं सकते ना. जो होगा वो उसके लिए आपको एनालिसिस करना पड़ेगा. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, there is no such condition on F1 and F2. F1 and F2 can be anything. Now, how do we go about this? So we are going to quickly solve this problem today. We will complete its solution today. That's our today's task. Happy? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So now we are going to do it quickly. सबसे पहले we are going to write down we are going to write down equations of motion. अब equation of motion लिखने के लिए what is the standard procedure? You should draw the free body diagram of M1, then write down Newton's second law, then draw the free body diagram of M2, and then write down Newton's second law. Are you with me?
Yes.
I am going to skip all this and I am going to show you a simpler way of writing down those equations. Thumb rule से. देखो, just check K1 किसके बीच में present है? K1 is present between ground and M1. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Where is U1 of T? U1 of T is assigned to M1 and U2 of T is assigned to M2. Do you agree with me? These are
Right.
the displacements of M1 and M2 in x direction at a given instant of time T. Now, when K1 is assigned between ground and M1, ground is not moving at all. At that time, the force in spring K1 will be proportional to U1 of T. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So directly वो equation, पहले देखो M1 को कौन से springs assigned है. So what are the springs assigned to M1? K1 and K2. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So at a given instant of time, what is going to be the resisting force on M1? It has to resist K1 as well as it has to resist K2. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So therefore ये directly equation लिख देना, मतलब इसको देख के see mass matrix directly लिख सकते हैं M1 0 0 M2. Happy? इसमें तो कोई
Yes.
दिक्कत नहीं है आपको. U1
No,
double
sir.
dot and U2 double dot. Happy?
Yes.
Chalo. Now we have to write down which matrix? Stiffness matrix. Damping matrix. Damping force is proportional to U1 dot and U2 dot. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
अच्छा, U1 के लिए now this damping here is given as a proportional damping. So right now I am not going to write down its coefficients. I will simply write it as a damping matrix C. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Plus, अब यहाँ पे देखो जरा K1 and K2. These are the stiffnesses. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
So U1 and U2. Now I am going to write down stiffness matrix. Now just have a look. Just have a look at U1. To have U1, you will have to work against spring with stiffness K1 as well as spring with stiffness K2. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, the first element here is going to be K1 plus K2. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Then here minus K2 minus, ये फॉर्म कभी चेंज नहीं होता as long as this system is of this form. So therefore you can simply write K1 plus K2 and K2 as diagonal elements, and off diagonal elements as minus K2 and minus K2. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
ये कहाँ से आए? तो इसका origin ये वाला है. We are going to go back to the free body diagrams. If you draw the free body diagrams, then you will automatically derive this equation. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Only thing is, in this free body diagrams, we are not going to write down anything about the damping matrix. Damping matrix is directly given. What is given? It exhibits proportional damping. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, I am going to say C is equal to alpha times M plus beta times K. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So what is going to be phi transpose C phi? Yes, tell me, what is phi transpose C phi? I already know phi transpose C phi is going to be a diagonal matrix. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Chalo. So if it is alpha times M plus beta times K, let us write down this matrix. तो कैसे होगा ये? What is the value of M1? Tell me. M1 is 1000.
1000.
Happy? So it is
Yes,
going
sir.
to be 1000 times alpha 0 0 1500 times alpha. Do you agree with me? Alpha
Yes,
times मतलब ये वाला plus beta times K. So it is going to be, what is K matrix? Chalo. Where is K? K, this is 10,000, 8,000. So K1 plus K2 means 18,000. So it is going to be 18,000 times beta. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Minus 8,000 times beta. Then
Yes, sir.
minus 8,000 times beta. Happy?
Yes, sir.
And then K2. So it is 8,000 beta.
Yes, sir.
Very good. So can we write down this matrix in a more elaborate form? It is going to be 1000 times alpha plus 18,000 times beta. Happy? Minus
Yes.
8,000 times beta minus 8,000 times beta. 1500 alpha plus 8,000 beta. Happy?
Yes, sir.
This is the C matrix. Fine. Now, this is the first step. So I'm going to call this step number 1. What is the next step? Step number 2. We are going to find out eigenvalues and eigenvectors. Eigenvalues and vectors of M inverse K. Do you agree with me? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So M inverse K eigenvalues and eigenvectors is what we have to find out. So let us do that online. 1 minute. Share screen. I hope screen is shared. Let us go to inverse of a matrix calculator. So पहले तो हमें M का inverse calculate करना पड़ेगा. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So let us calculate the inverse of M matrix. So M matrix क्या है? 1000, 0, 0 and 1500. Happy? Are you with
Yes,
me?
yes,
So what is the inverse of this matrix? 0.001. So M inverse is 0.0010. Then we have 0, and then we have minus 0.000666. Sorry, not minus, 0.000666. Are you with me?
yes, sir.
So let us try to find out M inverse K. So matrix multiplication. Where is matrix multiplication? 2 by 2 into 2 by 2 set matrices. So M inverse is 0.0010, then 0.00066666. Are you with me? Then K matrix.
Yes,
What is K matrix? Tell me. K matrix is 18,000 minus 8,000, 18,000 minus 8,000 minus 8,000
8,000.
and 8,000. So calculate. So matrix multiplication turns out to be 18 minus 8. So M inverse K. This turns out to be 18 minus 8. Happy? Then minus 5.333. 5.333. And then 5.333. Happy?
Yes, sir.
And now we have to find out their eigenvalues. So let us do that. Eigenvalues and vectors online. Eigenvalue and eigenvector. Okay. So now 2 by 2 matrix. Calculate. I don't want a 3 by 3 matrix. So let us take 2 by. I am using any online tool that is available from time to time. आपके पास तो calculator है. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So 18 minus 8. So let me write that 18 minus 8. Then minus 5.333 minus 5.333
5.333
and then 5.333.
plus 5.333.
33. Calculate. So two real eigenvalues. देखो अब eigenvalues कैसे आए देखो. First value has turned out to be 20.765. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And second value has turned out to be 2.5686. So first you have to rank order the eigenvalues. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So इसमें से lambda 1 आप किसको बोलोगे? Though here they stated lambda 1 as 20.765, we are going to take the smallest value as lambda 1. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So क्या करना है? Arrange eigenvalues in ascending fashion. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So if you do that, the smallest eigenvalue that you get is lambda 1, and that value is 2.5686. Happy?
Yes, sir.
This is the first eigenvalue. And you know that this eigenvalue is omega 1 square. ये हमने पहले ही किया है. This value will be equal to omega 1
Yes,
square.
sir.
We will prove that once again later, but remember that it is going to be the square of first natural frequency. And lambda 2 is going to be equal to how much?
20.765.
20.765. So it is the square of omega 2, second mode frequency. Happy? So can you quickly tell me what is omega 1? It will be square root of 2.5686. So how much is that? Tell me. Yes, go ahead. Yeah, how much it is? Somebody ask.
1.6026.
1.6026.
6026.
This is in radian per second. Happy? Are you with me? Vaibhav, are you with me?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
And square root of 20.765. Tell me how much is that?
4.5568.
4.55.
556.
This is also in radian per second. So अब जरा प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट देखो. प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट में we have to find out maximum value of u1 of t and maximum value of u2 of t if lambda 1 is equal to omega 1 and lambda 1 is equal to omega 2. So when lambda 1, that is the forcing frequency, ये cos lambda t में ये lambda जो है, not lambda 1, I had to say only lambda. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So when lambda is equal to omega 1, omega 1 is how much? 1.6026 radian per second. Happy?
Yes, sir.
And when lambda is equal to omega 2, at that time, what is the response of the system? ये हमें देखना है. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. चलो. So first we found out what is omega 1 and omega 2. At the same time, did we also find out eigenvectors? Yes, these are the eigenvectors. But lambda, when I write the phi matrix, I have to write down both the eigenvectors in a column form. Are you with me?
Yes,
Phi
sir.
1 and phi 2. What is phi 1 and phi 2? Phi 1 is the first column of phi matrix, which is eigenvector corresponding to lambda 1. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Phi 2 is the second column of phi matrix, which is eigenvector corresponding to lambda 2. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Now, tell me, what should I write as a first column? Look at these values and tell me what should be the first column. Yes, Vaibhav. Vedant?
Sir, for the first, it will be 0.51842 and 1, column
Yeah.
1.
So you see transpose here. So V2, that is the eigenvector corresponding to 2.5686 value is 0.51842. So I must write down 0.51842. Happy?
Yes.
And 1. And what is the value of phi 2? Phi 2 is minus 2.8936. Minus 2.8936. Happy? And 1. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, let us, now this is not a part of solution, digress, but I am going to plot more shapes. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So I am going to plot more shapes. हाँ, तो मोर शेप्स कैसे आएंगे बताओ मुझे. सो फर्स्ट केस में first mode shape is the first vector of phi matrix. So what is that vector? So M1 moves towards right by 0.51842. At that time, M2 moves towards right by 1 unit. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So if this is the original position of M1 and M2, देखो, this is the original position of M1 and this is the original position of M2. Happy? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So if M1 moves by 0.51842 units, I'm saying units, it can be kilometer, it can be meter, whatever it is. So all this first column is to be represented as a multiple. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
What I mean is you can have 0.51842 and 1. ये जो रेशो है, इस रेशो में M1 और M2 कैसे भी जा सकते हैं, इसके मल्टीपल्स में. So therefore I will show M1 moving towards right by 0.51842. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So कितना, कहाँ पे आ गया M1? Where is M1 now? M1 is here. What is this distance? 0.51842. Happy? And when M1 moves by this distance, M2 moves by almost double. That is 1 unit. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So how does the first mode shape look like? First mode shape looks like this. The first spring is stretched. Second spring is also stretched. This is the first mode shape. Happy?
Yes, sir.
अब जरा यहाँ पे देखो. If I move M1 by 0.51842 towards left, I will have to move M2 by 1 unit towards left. That is also the first mode shape. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
मतलब यहाँ पे देखो. If I move this towards left, इसको towards left move किया मैंने, कितने अमाउंट से? 0.51842. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, where is M1 now? M1 is here. And M2 को भी towards left 1 unit से move किया. Are you with me?
Okay.
So M2 moves by 1 unit. It comes somewhere here. This is also a first portion. As long as this proportion is maintained. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So both the springs are compressed. As long as this proportion is maintained, anything that you get is the first mode shape. Happy?
Yes, sir.
अब सेकंड मोड शेप में देखो. सेकंड मोड शेप में पहला एलिमेंट माइनस है एंड सेकंड एलिमेंट इज पॉजिटिव. इट डजंट मीन दैट फर्स्ट मास इज मूविंग टुवर्ड्स लेफ्ट. नो, फर्स्ट मास इज मूविंग टुवर्ड्स दैट साइड ऑफ मीन पोजीशन जो सेकंड मास जिस साइड में मूव हो रहा है उसके अपोजिट है. आर यू विथ मी?
Yes, sir.
So if second mass is moving towards right of mean position, then first mass will move towards left of its mean position. If second mass is moving towards left of its mean position, first mass will move towards right of its mean position. So that means the two masses are going to come closer or they are going to go away. They are out of phase. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
That's what this means. So let me draw that. So how do I draw that? Dekho, second mode shape. Now I am going to draw the second mode shape. This is the original M1 and M2. M1. This is M2. Original position. Happy?
Yes, sir.
The first mass moves towards right by 2.893. देखो, first mass is moving towards right, so it occupies this position. So this distance is how much? It is 2.893 units. So in that case, the second mass will move by 1 unit towards left. So इसके almost 1/3 इतना move होगा. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So M2 will be somewhere here. Are you able to understand this?
Yes, sir.
या फिर उल्टा, if mass M1 moves towards left by 2.893, mass M2 will move towards right by 1 unit. Happy?
Yes, sir.
That we will call it as mode shape 2. So in the assignment, I want you to draw this with scale. So mode shape 1 or mode shape 2 scale के साथ draw करो. Are you with me?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so we have found out now phi. We have found out now. We already know M matrix and we already know K matrix. Are you with me?
Yes.
So what is the next step? Next step is we are going to find out phi transpose M phi. Okay. So let us compute this matrix. So how do I compute that? 1 minute. Let me say, can we have multiplication, online multiplication of 3 matrices? Online multiplication of 3 matrices. Matrix multiplication calculator. No, it only multiplies to 2 matrices. It's okay. So therefore, let us first multiply phi transpose by M. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So how much is phi transpose M? Let us calculate that first. What is phi transpose? 0.51842.
Yes.
0.51842. Then 1.
And
Then
minus 2.8936.
2.8936. Minus 2.8936. माइनस लिखा कि नहीं? हाँ लिखा.
Yes.
Then 1. Happy? अब जरा M मैट्रिक्स बताओ मुझे. 1000, 0,
0.
then 0, 1500. Happy?
Yes.
So calculate. So can you take a snapshot of this? Lilia?
So I'm just writing down the values.
Okay. Let me know once it is done.
Yes, sir. Done.
Yeah, tell me the values.
518.42.
518.42. Yes, then
1500.
1500. Then
Minus 2893.6.
minus 2893.6. Then
1500.
now let us have phi transpose M phi. So we have to multiply this matrix by phi. Are you with me?
Yes.
So let us go to matrix multiplication 2 by 2 into 2 by 2. Tell me that phi transpose M matrix once again.
So we can just click on restore matrix. Maybe we can get the same.
No.
Nope. Okay.
Matrix multiplication. This is 1500. This is 1500.
1500.
Tell me these two values.
518.42.
518.42. Then
minus 2893.6.
0.6. यहाँ पे बोलो
0.51842
42.
minus 2.8936.
Then
1 and 1.
1 and calculate. So ये 0.1, these values are 0. Are you with me?
Yes.
So 17.
1768.75.
1768.
0.75.
0.75. Yeah.
0
Then
and 0.
0, 0. Then
And 9872.
0.92. Are you with me?
Yes.
So this is a diagonal matrix phi transpose M phi. Now let us try to find out phi transpose K phi. Happy?
Yes,
So
sir.
we are going to deal with phi transpose K. So have you written down the value of K matrix? 18,000 minus 8,000 minus 8,000 8,000. That we will remember. Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
Phi transpose की वैल्यू लिख ली है? phi की वैल्यू लिखी है कि नहीं बताओ मुझे.
Yes, sir. I have written.
So please help me out in this. So matrix multiplication, set matrices. Tell me the value of phi transpose.
Transpose. Okay. 0.51842. 1.
Yeah.
Minus 2.8936.
Yes. Now tell me the value of K. K was 18,000
Yes.
minus 8,000
Yes.
minus 8,000
Yes.
and 8,000.
Right.
Calculate. So ये values लिख लो. Let me know once you are done.
Yes. Just a second. Yes, sir. Done.
Yes. Now tell me K phi transpose K. Yeah. Go ahead.
1331.56.
1331.56.
0.56.
Then
3852.64.
3852.64. Yeah. Then
minus 60084.8 and 31148.8.
311.
48.8.
These are the values of phi transpose K. Now phi transpose K phi. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So we have to multiply this matrix by phi matrix. So continue calculation. matrix multiplication from right. Set the dimension to cross to set matrix. So I hope that matrix got copied now. I got how to do that. 1331, right? Yes. Tell me now. Phi matrix.
Phi matrix is 0.51842.
51842. Yeah. And my second one.
2.8936.
Calculate. So this value is 0 of diagonal, and this value is 4542.947. 4542.947. 947. Then 0. This is 0. And 205010. 205010.117. 177. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And now let us try to find out what is phi transpose M phi. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
We already know it is diagonal. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So if we know it is diagonal, let me express these elements of phi matrix and phi transpose C phi. Happy? Phi transpose C phi. If I know that this is diagonal, then what I know about this matrix, if this matrix is 2 by 2 matrix having the elements, let me say E1, E2, E3 and E4. So what do you know about this matrix? We know that E2 is 0 and E3 is 0. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
If I say phi transpose C phi is E1, E2, E3, E4, I know E2 is 0 and E3 is 0. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in that case, can you tell me if I say phi matrix is represented by phi 1, phi 2, phi 3 and phi 4. Happy?
Yes.
And C matrix is represented by C1, C2, C3, C4. Are you with me? So what is phi transpose C? Can we calculate phi transpose C? Yes, it will be phi 1, phi 3. Happy?
Yes.
Phi 2, phi 4 into C1, C2, C3, C4. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Chalo. So can you simplify this matrix? It is going to be phi 1, C1 plus phi 3, C3. Happy? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Then phi 1, C2 into plus phi 3, C4. Happy? Phi 2, C1 plus phi 4, C3. And what will be this element? Phi 2, C2 plus phi 4, C4. Happy?
Yes.
This multiplied by phi. So this multiplied by phi. this multiplied by phi, that is phi 1, phi 2, phi 3, phi 4. Happy?
Can you please write this down before we move ahead?
Means?
So can you please write this down? Like before we move ahead, we want to write this down, this step.
Yeah, write it down. Let me know once you are done.
Yes. Yes, sir. Done.
Done? Okay. Now, अब इसमें से हम ये पूरा मल्टीप्लिकेशन भी कर सकते हैं, करने की जरूरत नहीं है, बिकॉज वी हैव टू कंडीशंस, E2 equal to 0 and E3 equal to 0. Do you agree with me? So E2 and E3 means I want to compute only this element and this element of the resulting multiplication. Happy?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, तो इसका जो रिजल्टिंग मल्टीप्लिकेशन रहने वाला है, इसमें से सिर्फ मुझे ये एलिमेंट चाहिए और ये एलिमेंट चाहिए. हैप्पी?
Yes, sir.
So if I try to write down this element, what it is this row multiplied by the second column. So can you tell me what that is? Phi 1 C1 plus phi 3 C3 multiplied by phi 2. Happy? Plus
Yes.
phi 1 C2 plus phi 3 C4 into phi 4. Happy?
Sir, so it should be 5-1 and 5-3, right? And not 5-2 and 5-4. Because the first element of the first
But we
and
are
the
not
second.
writing the first element. We are writing down this element. देखो ना.
Okay, right.
When we
You are
write this
converting for
element,
0.
so this is equal to 0 is the first equation that we have. Do you agree with me?
Yes, right.
And what is the second equation that we are going to have? We have to write down this element. This element means second row and first column.
Yes.
So phi 2 C1 plus phi 4 C3 into phi 1 plus phi 2 C2 plus phi 4 C4 है ना,
Yes,
into
right.
phi 3. This must be equal to 0. This is the second equation that we have. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Now, what is phi 1, phi 2, phi 3, phi 4? तो phi 1, phi 2, phi 3, phi 4 तो हमें पता है.
Yes.
Don't we know that? Yes, we know that.
Yes,
This
yes,
is
we
the
know
phi
that.
matrix. So let me bring this here. This is the phi matrix. How have we denoted this phi matrix as phi 1, phi 2, phi 3, phi 4? Are you with me?
Yes.
Oh, no. Phi matrix is phi 1, phi 2, phi 3, phi 4. Are you with me?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is phi 1, this is phi 2, this is phi 3, and this is phi 4. Are you with me?
Yes.
Put these values here. So what do I get? So 0.5842, right? C1 plus 1 times C3 into phi 2, that is minus 2.8936. Agreed?
Yes.
Plus, chalo, phi 1 C2 0.5182 C2 plus, बोलो क्या होगा, phi 3 C3 3 C4. So that is 1 C4 into 5 4. 5 4 is 1. This is equal to 0. This is the first equation. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
इसको और सिंप्लीफाई करते हैं. So what is the value of C1? Tell me. What is the first element of C1? That we have already calculated. Where is our C1 matrix? C matrix. The first element. Happy? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So I am bringing that element here. This is C matrix. What is C1, C2, C3, C4, C1, C2, C3, C4? So I will write down those elements here. C1, C2, C3 and C4. Substitute. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, लेकिन सब्स्टिट्यूट करके हम अपना और इजी करने वाले हैं. हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू कलेक्ट टर्म्स इन अल्फा एंड बीटा सेपरेटली. हैप्पी?
Okay.
हाँ. सो देखो C1 के C1 इसमें कहा है तो और C3 कहा है एक दूसरे जगह पे. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इफ आई सब्स्टिट्यूट C1 is equal to this term in this equation. तो अल्फा के कोएफिशिएंट्स क्या है बताओ और बीटा के कोएफिशिएंट्स क्या है बताओ. C1 के जगह पे ये वैल्यू मैंने सब्स्टिट्यूट की. आर यू विथ मी?
Yes.
So C1 is 1000 alpha plus 18,000 beta. So that C1 is 1000 alpha, that 1000 into 0.51842 into minus 2.8936. ये अल्फा का कोएफिशिएंट होगा. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So I am going to write it down 0.51842 happy multiplied by ये बाहर जो बैठा है -2.8936 वो वैसे के वैसे लिखूंगा -2.8936 हैप्पी.
Yes.
दैट इज एज इट इज. एंड ये C1 में होगा 1000 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 1000. अगर मैंने ये ले लिया सो आई हैव कंसिडर द कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ अल्फा इन C1 टर्म हियर. हैप्पी?
Yes. Right.
Now let me write down this plus something in beta. तो बीटा का कोई क्या है? बीटा के लिए ये प्रोडक्ट तो वैसे के वैसे रहेगा 0.51842 इंटू -2.8936. तो वो प्रोडक्ट तो मैंने वैसे के वैसे ले लिया. विथ मी? वेदांग, आर यू विथ मी?
Yes. Yes.
और उसके लिए बीटा जुड़ जाएगा, प्लस है ना. सो मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 18,000. हैप्पी?
Okay.
The moment I write down this, I have considered this term. ये term हो गई. Happy?
Right.
And now let us consider C3 वाला term. C3 वाले term में सिर्फ बीटा है. Do you agree with me?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Only beta.
Just 1 minute. Hello? हो, मी तुम्हाला एक लेक्चर संपेल एक अर्ध्या तासात. मी करू कॉल तुम्हाला? ओके. ओके. सो बीटा वाला टर्म है सिर्फ यहाँ पे. तो C3 के जगह पे हमें ये सब्स्टिट्यूट करने के बाद क्या टर्म आने वाला है? ये -2.8936 इंटू -8000. डू यू एग्री विथ मी?
Yes, sir.
तो माइनस माइनस साइन प्लस हो जाएगा. सो इट इज गोइंग टू बी 2.8936 इंटू 8000. हैप्पी?
Yes.
प्लस 2.8936 इंटू क्या लिखो? 8000. सो ये मैंने कर दिया तो ये C3 वाला टर्म हो गया. हैप्पी?
Yes, sir.
अब कौन सा टर्म बाकी है? ये वाला 0.51842 into C2. Where is C2? C2 is also only beta. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
और यहाँ पे प्लस साइन है तो ये माइनस एंड प्लस साइन का मल्टीप्लीकेशन तो प्लस माइनस रहेगा. सो इट इज गोइंग टू बी -0.51842 into 8000. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Into 8000. ये अगर मैंने लिख दिया सो ये वाला टर्म कंसिडर हो गया. अब कौन सा टर्म है? C4. आर यू विथ मी?
Yes, sir.
C4 में क्या है? दोनों है, अल्फा भी है और बीटा भी है, और ये कोएफिशिएंट क्या है इसका? 1 से मल्टीप्लाई करना है. सो इट इज गोइंग टू बी 1500 एंड 8000. सो प्लस 1500 हैप्पी प्लस 8000. बीटा में 8000, अल्फा में 1500. ये अगर मैंने कर दिया तो ये C4 वाला टर्म हो गया. So I have got an equation in terms of alpha and beta. This equation is modification of equation number 1. So I am going to still call it as equation number 1 itself. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. So can you simplify this and let me know what is the value, what are the values? Unfortunately, I cannot increase its size anymore. Anyway. बोलो, what is this? So 1500 plus 0.51842 into 1000 into minus 2.8936. So what is this? Tell me. Yes.
So 3000.
Exact
Yes, sir. Exact 3000.
plus या minus?
Plus 3000.
कैसे प्लस आया? ये 1500 है, ये टर्म तो माइनस आने माइनस है.
Oh, sir. It will be then 0. I'm sorry. It will be 0.
Is it 0? Are you sure?
The 0.51842 into minus 2.8936 into 1000 plus 1500.
कितना आ रहा है? ये कितना आ रहा है?
minus 1500.
Pardon?
Minus
This
1500.
is okay. So this is 0 times alpha. Happy?
Yes, sir.
नहीं तो ये ऐसे कैसे होगा? Have we made some error? Because if 0 time alpha, then alpha and beta 0 आ गए तो C मैट्रिक्स ही 0 हो जाएगा. ऐसे तो हो नहीं सकता. 1 minute.
Maybe we have made a silly mistake in substitution.
चेक करो. C4. ये एग्जैक्ट 0 आ रहा है क्या?
Sir, to be precise, is coming actually minus 0.1.
नहीं वो 0. ओके. Just 1 minute. Okay, now I got that was obvious as this is the diagonal matrix. This had to come to 0. नहीं आता तो ही problem था. Are you with me?
Right.
No, गड़बड़ की मैंने. Just give me a second. We should not start with this. We should focus on non-zero elements. 1 minute. Okay. We have these elements are 0 anyway, that is known. We have to calculate these two elements, right? I lost the track. Are you with me?
Okay, sir.
In phi transpose C phi, we already know that the off diagonal elements are going to be 0. We are interested in the calculation of this element and this element. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So what is that element? Can you tell me? So let me write this down. So this is going to be 0 0. And what is the first element? It is going to be phi 1 C1, phi 1 C1 plus phi 3 C3 into phi 1, happy, plus
Yes.
phi 1 C2 plus phi 4 C4, phi 4
Yes.
C4, happy.
No, sir. Phi 3
Multiply.
C4.
Phi 3 C4. I'm sorry. Phi
Phi
3
3 C4 into phi 3.
phi 3 C4 into phi 3.
Whole times phi 3.
Happy. And what
Yes.
is this element? This element. So let me write down that. So it is going to be phi 2 C1 plus phi 4 C3, happy,
Yes.
into phi 2
Into phi 2.
प्लस एनीवे एक काम अच्छा हो गया कि मैंने आपको प्रूव करके दिखाया कि ये डायगोनल मैट्रिक्स है, ये तो जीरो हो गए. हाँ, लेकिन हमें करना क्या था, हमें ऑफ डायगोनल एलिमेंट्स लिखने थे. आर यू विथ मी?
Yes.
देन इट इज phi 2 C2 plus
Phi 4
phi
C4.
4 C4 multiplied by phi 4.
4.
ये हो गया हमारा diagonalized C matrix. So this is the C matrix in generalized coordinate system. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
तो जनरलाइज कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम में ये सी मैट्रिक्स है, जनरलाइज सी मैट्रिक्स. जनरलाइज कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम में के मैट्रिक्स कौन सा है? तो फाई ट्रांसपोज के फाई. सो डिड वी कंप्यूट फाई ट्रांसपोज के फाई? वेयर इज इट? हाँ, दिस वन. सो दिस इज जनरलाइज के मैट्रिक्स. आर यू विथ मी?
Yes.
So we denote this by capital K. We denote this by capital C. Generalized C matrix denoted by capital C, generalized K matrix denoted by capital K, and generalized M matrix denoted by capital M. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So we are now in a position to diagonalize MCK matrices in generalized coordinate system. So what is the original whatever are the original equations of motion? They were something like this. This mass matrix small M U double dot, happy,
Yes.
प्लस, हाँ बोलो क्या लिखूं यहाँ पे?
E U dot.
U dot प्लस
K U.
K U. These were damping, stiffness and mass matrices in original coordinate system. This must be equal to the force matrix. Force matrix in original coordinate system. What is the force matrix in original coordinate system? 200 cos lambda d, 200 cos lambda d, and 150 cos lambda d. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So I am going to write it as it is here. 200 cos lambda t and 150 cos lambda t. Happy? This is f of t. This is in original coordinate system. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Now I apply transformation. What is the transformation I apply? Transformation that I apply is u is equal to phi times z. Are you with me?
Yes. Yes.
So if I apply that, what do I get? I get M matrix, phi matrix, Z double dot, where Z double dot is Z1 double dot and Z2 double dot. These are generalized displacements. Z1 double dot of t and Z2 double dot of t. These are generalized accelerations. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Plus ये small c मैट्रिक्स है, u डॉट क्या हो जाएगा फिर? phi z डॉट. हैप्पी?
Yes, sir.
Z dot These are generalized velocity vectors z1 dot and z2 dot. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Plus k times, अब क्या लिखूं यहाँ पे, phi z. These are generalized displacements z1 and z2 is equal to this original force matrix f of t as it is. Happy? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now pre-multiply this by phi inverse, phi transpose. सब जगह लेफ्ट एंड राइट हैंड साइड को phi transpose से मैंने मल्टीप्लाई किया. So what do I get? Now to avoid the clumsiness of expression, I will simply write phi transpose small m phi. Happy? Z double
Yes,
dot
sir.
plus phi transpose C phi Z dot. Happy? Plus phi transpose K phi Z is equal to phi transpose f of t. Happy?
Yes.
तो इसमें phi transpose m phi क्या है बोलो? It is generalized mass matrix. What is phi transpose C phi? That is generalized stiffness matrix. Sorry, damping matrix. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
This capital M is diagonalized, this capital C is diagonalized, and this capital K is diagonalized. All the hurdles are now gone. The equations are uncoupled. Are you with me?
Yes.
सिर्फ हमें इवेल्युएट क्या करना है, ये phi transpose f of t. So do you know the value of, do you know phi transpose matrix? What is phi transpose? मुझे phi transpose क्या है बताओ? 11.51 something था, क्या है बोलो?
Point
हाँ,
5.51842
842. And what is this? Minus 2.8936.
minus 2.8936.
This multiplied by f of t. What is f of t? 150 is 200 cos lambda t. Are you with me?
Yes.
And this is 150 cos lambda t. है ना?
Yes.
This is capital F of t. So it is generalized force matrix. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So what is generalized force matrix? Capital F of t. Chalo, tell me the value. It is going to be 0.51842 into 200 cos lambda t plus 150, 1 into 150 cos lambda t. So cos lambda t can be taken common. Happy? And in bracket, you are going to have 0.51842 into 200 plus 150. और यहाँ पे क्या होगा? -2.8936 into 200 plus 150 cos lambda t. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So can you evaluate this constant? 0.51842 into 200 plus 150. How much it is?
Yes. 253.684.
250
3.684.
0.684 cos lambda t. Happy?
Yes.
यहाँ पे क्या है बोलो?
Minus 428.72
428.72
cos lambda t.
cos lambda t. Are you with me?
Yes.
This is f of t. Now let us quickly write down the entire equation of motion, entire diagonalized system, and then we will stop for today because others have lecture at 1:30, 3:30. So we will stop here today, but let us complete the exercise. So what is capital M? This matrix. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So this is M matrix multiplied by Z double dot. So that is nothing but Z1 double dot of t and Z2 double dot of t. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Plus, let us write down now C matrix. How does the capital C matrix look like? This one is capital C matrix. Happy? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Whew. So this multiplied by z1 of z1 dot and z2 dot, generalized velocity vectors, plus how does a generalized K matrix look like? कहाँ है हमारा K matrix? This one. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Plus this K into z1 and z2. All the matrices are diagonal now. You can see. This must be equal to our generalized force matrix. Generalized force matrix is this one. Happy?
Yes.
So we have to now solve these two equations. But before that, we need to do something about these terms. ये जो unknown terms है ना C1, C3, उसके बारे में कुछ करना पड़ेगा. What that we will see in the next class. But in principle, we have converted 2 degree of freedom system into a uncoupled equations of motion. So it is as if you are solving single degree of freedom system twice. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we will simplify this further in tomorrow's class, and you will see after this stage everything becomes so simple. Once we compute C1, C2, C3, C4, everything is very straightforward because we have already solved single degree of freedom systems for such kind of excitations. This is harmonic excitation. We have solved it for P cos lambda t. So we already know the solution. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So with this, let us stop here today. You can put your attendance and then you can leave the class. If you have any doubt, you can ask me now.